And CSDHL League play resumes for the Pekin 10U AA Dragons. Third CSDHL regular season league game for the season, 25-26 season. After a weekend tournament hiatus from league play, the Dragons are back up in the Chicagoland area to continue their campaign for the season. Today we're facing a doubleheader here against the St. Jude Knights. This game is at Homewood Flossmoor up in Flossmoor, Illinois, and the next game later this afternoon at 6:30 p.m. will be at the Southwest Ice Arena versus the same team here. So today will be games 3 and 4 for the league. Dragons are coming in with 2 games played, 2 wins, 0 losses, 0 ties, and 4 points. And today's opponent, St. Jude Knights, are coming in second place with 3 games played, 3 wins, 0 losses, 0 ties, and 6 points. In the Squirt White 2 division, there's 10 teams in that division. So right now we're off to a pretty good start. Like I said, there's a game at 6:30 p.m. versus the Knights again today. And then Wednesday, November 19th, we have a home game versus the Peoria Junior Mustangs at Pekin Veterans Memorial Arena at 6 o'clock p.m. That'll be the Dragons' 5th league game for the season. And then the following Sunday, November 23rd, we have a home game versus the Chicago Jets, also at Pekin Veterans Memorial Arena at 8:15 a.m. And then an away game versus the Chicago Jets in Peoria, though, at Owens Center at 12:15. So that one's also close to home. If you can make it out for any of those 3 games close to home there, please do in person. Otherwise, we'll have it here on the channel for you. Dragons are getting their warm-ups underway here. Before we get started, we'll go ahead and rip through the roster here in numerical order this time. Number 5, Sterling Burks. Number 6, Duncan Hill. Number 7, Braxton Courts. Number 11, Easton Cook. Number 12, Noah Viviano. Number 16, Kian Ledbetter. Number 19, Grayson Blevins. Number 25, Jackson McCoy. Number 29, Nash Moldenhauer. Number 33, Jet Nafziger. Number 48, netminder Adelina Johnson. Number 77, Houston Richardson. Pekin 10U AA Dragons coaching staff consists of head coach Neil Viviano, assistant coaches Chip Hill and Barry Moldenhauer. On the bench we have Mr. Brian Blevins, and I'm not sure if we got a penalty box attendant yet or not. All right, the moment you all have been waiting for, I got a sponsor list ready to go. So let's thank this season's 25-26 Pekin 10U AA Dragons sponsors for the season. We got a hat trick sponsor, Mr. Kurt Nafziger, the coolest cousin ever. Power play sponsors, 2121 Sports. Let us give you an edge. Call them Dan Engelbright at 309-241-0712. Professional skate sharpening, skate profiling, and some skate repair. You can find him on Facebook as well. Ledbetter Insurance, trusted leader in auto, homeowners, and business insurance. Contact them at ledbetterins.com or 309-673-5544. And then we have Mr. Towitz Record Service, established in 2012 out of Peoria, Illinois. Contact them at mrtowitzrecordservice.com or 309-360-3123. All right, let's go Dragons. CSDHL Game 3 starts now. Looks like we're going to have Grayson Blevins at center, Easton Cook on left wing, Houston Richardson on right wing, Jet Nafziger and Nash Moldenhauer on defense, Addie Johnson in net. Now all we need is the other team. And it looks like we're riding with one referee today. I thought the signal was stronger than it actually is here, so this might be choppy for you guys. I hope it's not. If it is, you know the drill. We'll upload it tonight when we get home. All right, hockey is underway. Puck comes back to Nafziger out the face-off, and Dragons try to advance it across the neutral zone. Knights double back. Nafziger back to defend, strips the puck over to the near side. Knights fire a shot off the back of one of their own players there, and Dragons try to battle it across that blue line, and they do. Blevins is in hot pursuit at center ice. Puck gets deflected over to the far side boards, and Knights advance across the neutral zone and into the Dragon zone up the far side. Puck is freed up across the slot and over to the near corner, and the Knights will slap it across the back wall. And Blevins will race back for it behind the net, chips it around a Knight player, and he'll chase after it up the near side. Up the near side boards, dumps it up to Easton Cook there, and he'll chase it into the Knights zone. Knights knock it back to the neutral zone. And Moldenauer and Nafziger back to defend. Knights advance, send a shot off the back wall off the side of the net. Nafziger picks it up, brings it over to the near side, and skates it back up out of the zone. Almost left it behind there, and he'll dump it in deep into the Knights zone. And Knights will get there first. Over to the far side there. Moldenauer sends it back into the zone a little further, and it'll get knocked back out. Looks like it could be an icing call, but Nafziger's going to get there before it hits the red line. Skates it around over to the near side again. Got a guy on his back, and sends it up to Courts, waiting at the top of the face-off circle there. Puck keeps getting deflected away, though, and here comes Courts again. Can't control the puck, and here comes Moldenauer. Back to the neutral zone, dangles around two Knight players and up into the Knights zone. And glove save Knights. We'll have a stoppage in play with 10:15 remaining. I think that's what that says. We'll zoom in a little bit for you. Face off in the Knights zone. Braxton Courts at center. Duncan Hill and Noah Viviano on the wings. McCoy and Burks on defense. Courts for the face-off. Puck comes over to the near side boards. McCoy tries to chase it down. Knights are out across the neutral zone. Burks back to defend. Knights advance in front of the net. Save Johnson! Ooh, Knight tried to have a wraparound attempt there. Puck's still loose in the slot, and Courts knocks it away. Over to the far side. And Knights send it back in deep. McCoy stops it at the top of the face-off circle. Cross ice pass to Duncan Hill on the near side in the neutral zone. And Courts, send it back into his own zone there off of McCoy's shorts there, it looked like. And Sterling Burks will race back for it behind the Dragons net. All the way up, sends it out to the neutral zone, up the near side. And pucks advance back across the neutral zone there. Burks is going to race back for it. I think that might have been an offside whistle. 9:27 remaining in the first period. Still scoreless. Face off in the neutral zone. And Blevins for the face-off. Got tripped there at the face-off dot. And Knights advance back in. Moldenauer picks off the puck there, scoops it back out, looking for Blevins in the neutral zone, and the Knights shove it off to the near side, and Blevins will still dump it in. Knights get there first, chase it back on the back wall in the Knights zone, and over to the far side. They'll send it up to Nafziger at the blue line, and they'll send it back in deep to the back wall. Knights chase it down. And back over to the near side. Moldenauer holds it in at the blue line there, and Knights advance it back out. Nafziger will chase it down on the far boards in the neutral zone. Dangles around some Knights traffic and into the Knights zone. Knights send it back up the far side there. And Nafziger holds it in at the blue line, scoops it up, looking for Ledbetter in the slot, and puck comes back to Moldenauer in the blue line. Tries to send it back up to Ledbetter, and Knights knock it back out. Nafziger chipped it back to Moldenauer, but the Knights picked it up, and they send it all the way down deep. And I'm going to back out a little bit. Here comes Nafziger around some Knight traffic and all the way back out. Knights had a line change there, and then Nafziger is trying to advance right through them all. Moldenauer is going to chase that back down in the Dragon zone, sends it up the far side and offside Knights. 8:04 remaining in the first period. Still scoreless. High-paced game here so far. All right, Courts at center, Viviano and Hill on the wings, Burks and McCoy on defense. Courts for the face-off, and puck comes back down all the way to the back wall in the Dragon zone. Ooh, McCoy blew a tire there, right out front to a, blocker save. Blocker save, Johnson, great job. Knights had a wide open net there, and puck came back over to the near side, and Duncan Hill sends it back out to the neutral zone. Knights deflected it. Courts is in a foot race, and he's going to get there first. Sends it over to the far side boards and up the far side. Whoop, Burks tried to hold it in with his foot there, and McCoy's racing back. So is Viviano. Goal, Knights sent a shot from the top of the circle there. And bounced in off Johnson's pads, unfortunately. 7:22 remaining in the first period. Dragons down by 1. Blevins at center, Ledbetter and Richardson on the wing, Nefziger and McCoy on defense, and Blevins for the face-off. Battling with the Knight player at center ice, and they'll come out with it over to the near side. And Blevins battles it over to the boards there. Knights try to come out with it, Ledbetter peels it out, and lost it in the skates there. And Knights advance back in. Nefziger drives him to the far side. Knights skate around, send it through the crease and over to the near side boards. And Ledbetter sends it out up the near side. Looks like he got taken out there. Knights pick it up deep in their zone. Send it off the far side boards this time. Nefziger holds it in. Tries to get it back to Blevins. Puck squirts to the neutral zone, and McCoy's back to defend. Nefziger's racing in with him. Strips the puck over to the far side and dumps it up to the neutral zone. Offside, Knights. 6:32 remaining in the first period. Dragons down by 1 goal. Face off in the neutral zone. In front of the Dragons bench. Courts for the face off. And Knights send it in deep to the near corner in the Dragons zone. Moldenauer passes it up the near side, and Duncan Hill chips it out to the neutral zone. Knights pick it up. Whoa! Oh, dang. Almost had a chance for a breakaway there, but not quite. Knights struggle to get onside, and they do. Fired one up the slot there, and we got a whistle here. Must have been offside. Sounds good to me. 6:06 looks like left in the first here. Face off in the neutral zone. Courts for the face off, and Knights collected on the far side and carry it in. They'll send it all the way to the back wall, and Moldenauer race back for it behind the Dragons net. Knights come out with it on the near side, and Courts comes in to intercept. He'll battle with a Knight player on the near boards there. Tries to send it up to Hill on the near side, and Duncan Hill sends it out to the neutral zone, and that's going to be an icing call. Face off back in the Dragon zone. All that work for nothing. .33's Daddy, sponsored by room temperature bottle of Mountain Dew from the car. Picked it up at the Dwight Casey's, exit 217 off of 55 there. If you're interested, stop in, tell them Pekin 10 UAA Dragons sent you. And from the face-off, Knights sent a bouncer from the blue line, and like it almost bounced in, but did not quite. And Nefziger will peel it out of the crease, and he's off to the races up to the neutral zone. Got one guy to beat in front of him, and he'll try to skate around him. Puck gets freed up to the back wall and back up to the blue line. Richardson sends one sailing into the slot there, and Knights carry it over to the near side. He'll chip it back out to the neutral zone. Nefziger back to defend. He'll chase it down to the back wall. And sends it off the far side boards, looking for Richardson. And he'll skate it out to the neutral zone. Pass up to Blevins in the slot. Couldn't keep it on his stick there, and it comes right back out to the neutral zone. Another odd man rush by the Knights. Nefziger back to defend. And so is McCoy, and Knights slamming off the back wall there. And puck comes out to Richardson. He'll turn it around in the Dragons slot area and chips it over to the far boards. Dragons can't control the puck very well at the moment here. We got to get that thing on that tape. All the way to the back wall. Nefziger chases it down behind the Dragons net. Dangles around some Knight traffic. Puck got deflected to Blevins, and he's looking for a stretch pass to Richardson on the far side boards. Pass over to Cookie, and sends a shot. Glove save, Knights. 4:05 remaining in the first period. Dragons down by 1. Face off in the Knights zone. Courts center, Ledbetter and Hill on the wing, Moldenauer and Burks on defense. Courts for the face-off, chips it towards the net, and Knights freed it back up. Dragons send it in offside. 3:54 remaining in the first. Dragons down by 1. Face-off in the neutral zone. Courts for the face-off. Gets it out in front there, and the Knights slap it back. Ledbetter tries to get it through the feet of a Knight player, and Knights barge it right in up the far side. Send it off Addie's leg pads there, and Burks comes out with it. Sends it up to the blue line to a Knight defender waiting there, and he'll send it back in deep. Sends it off the back wall over to Hill on the near side. He'll skate it out. Passes it up to Courts on the near side. Hill comes in behind him. Sends it back in up to Courts, and he'll send it over to the back wall across the far side there. Courts tries to center one up, looking for Hill in front of the net. Just didn't get to him. Back to Moldenauer at the blue line. Bounced it off a Knight player. We're off to the races over here in the neutral zone up the far side. Burks back to defend, and he'll send one off of Addie's pads again. Save Johnson. Back to the near side, and Dragons try to battle it up. Courts breaks it up. Somebody sent it back to the neutral zone, and the Knights send it in offside again. 2:44 remaining in the first period. Dragons down by 1. We got a hard-fought battle ahead of us here, folks. Blevins at center, Richardson and Cook on the wing. Blevins for the face-off. He'll chase it over to the far side. Knights send it all the way to the back wall. Nafziger and McCoy on defense. McCoy picks it up on the back wall and sends it up the near side, looking for Richardson. Blevins comes in to help. Chips it up the near side. Nope. And back to McCoy. He'll send it up off the top of the glass, and that'll go out of play. 2:26 remaining in the first period, and we got a souvenir for a lucky fan. Same lineup. Blevins for the face-off, sends it over to the near side, and Knights try to battle with Richardson there. Comes back out to Blevins, lost it in his skates, and now he gets it on his stick, sends it over to Cook on the far side there, or in the center maybe, and Blevins tries to hold it in, just can't do it there, and he's battling it in front of the Knights bench. Cookie peels it out, gets it back to Nafziger, and he'll chip it back into the traffic and carries it over to the near side. Dangles it up the slot, shot, and over the top of the net. Got deflected, it looked like. Back to McCoy. Catches it in the neutral zone. Stretch pass to Nafziger on the far side, and he'll race it up. Passes it up to the inside of the Knights zone off the near boards, and up Richardson's face there, and puck's loose at the blue line. Back to McCoy, back to Nafziger on the far side, and he'll race it up. Sends it in off of a Knight player, and they'll chase it down, try to knock it off the back wall. Just can't hold it in, darn it. And sends it over to the near side boards. McCoy in a race for it, and we got a arm in the air, it looks like. Delayed penalty on the Dragons. McCoy will go off for a minute 30. Probably not supposed to check and 10U, I imagine. Dragons will be on the penalty kill for a minute 30. 1:08 remaining in the first period. Face off in the Dragon zone. Courts at center, Moldenauer and Burks on defense. Blevins on the wing, send a rocket up the slot there. And just wide of the net. Moldenauer tries to chase it down the back wall, and Knights retain possession. Oh, almost had a funny bounce off the side of the net there. Just can't clear it out. Ah! No, puck did not go in the net, and it's still loose on the back wall. And we just can't get it together here. Moldenauer battles it over to the near side, and Blevins will race over for it. Back to another Knight player in the face-off circle. Dragons relentlessly trying to control the puck, send it up the near side, and over to Karts on the near boards. He'll skate it around the referee, back out to the neutral zone. Dangles it through some traffic. 20 seconds remaining in the first, and the Knights send it back to Nafziger. He'll send it back in. Offside. Dragons 13.9 remaining in the first period, 36 seconds remaining in the McCoy penalty. Face off in the neutral zone. Cookie at center and Viviano on the wing. Moldenauer and Nafziger on defense, and Cook for the face-off. Back to Viviano, it looked like. Knights advance over into the Dragon zone up the near side. Nafziger gets his stick on it. And Dragons send it back up the slot. Late shot by the Knights there, and Dragons down by 1 after 1 period of play, folks. 22 seconds remaining in the McCoy penalty when we come back here after the small intermission. We'll rip through a couple more of our team sponsors here while we're waiting. All right, Mike and Sandy Robertson. That's Grayson Blevins' grandparents, Wayne and Aaron Woods, Sterling Burks' grandpa. Slap Shot sponsors Mackinac IGA, friendly small town grocery store with so much more in Mackinac, Illinois. Contact them or stop in. You can get a hold of them at MackinaciGA.com. We'll pick this up in the next period here. All right, period 2 starts now. We're switching sides and going the other way. We're going to have Easton Cook at center, Viviano on the wing, Nafziger and Moldenauer on defense. Here come the Knights. And Cook for the face-off. Puck comes back to Moldenauer. He'll send it up to Cook again on the near side, and he'll try to chase it down through two Knights. They'll pass it back to another guy waiting here. Nafziger gets up in his business. Guy skates it in deep to the back wall, cuts in front of the net there, or off to the side, and Nafziger will pick up the puck. Skates it up the near side boards, passes it up to Easton Cook out in front in the neutral zone, and he'll race it in up the near side. Almost lost his footing there, but not quite. And he's battling with 2 Knights players, tries to center it up. Knights players intercept the pass, and puck comes over to the far boards where Moldenauer will battle it over to Blevins. Blevins sends it into the Knights zone, and Knights send it back all the way down. Should be an icing call, and it is. 11-10 on the clock remaining in the second period. Face off down in the Knights zone. Yeah, we'll go to that one. Grayson Blevins at center. Richardson and Ledbetter on the wing. Dragons back to full strength. Moldenauer and Burks on defense. Blevins for the face-off. Ooh, over to Richardson, and he shot it off the wall, the back wall there. And back to Burks at the blue line. Sends it off. Sent it off of a Knight player. Moldenauer's back to defend. All the Dragons come up to help here. And offside Knights. 10:54 remaining in the second period. Face-off in the neutral zone. On the Knightier side, Blevins for the face-off. Back to Burks. Oh, fanned on the whoa. Moldenauer breaks up the action in front of the slot there. I don't know if the puck was glued to the ice there for a second or what happened. Richardson tries to clear the zone. Knights send it back in, and Burks sends it back to a Knight on the far side. Back to Burks again. Back to another Knight, and Ledbetter will pick it up at the blue line. No, he won't. Knights send it back in deeper, and Burks collects up the change, sends it off the far boards there. And Moldenauer chases it down on the far side. Sends it back up to some Knight players on the boards there. Blevins strips the puck, but runs away, and then woo! Puck comes over to the far corner, or near corner, sorry. Back to Blevins. And up the near side, puck squirts out to the neutral zone, and the Dragons will race it down deep in their zone. Knights send it over off the far side, and Richardson tries to center one up, but the Knights pick that off, and they'll carry it up the far side and dump it back out to the neutral zone. And Moldenauer's in a foot race for it with two Knights. Glove save, Johnson! Shot on goal, but to no avail. 9:37 remaining in the second, and we'll have a face-off in the Dragon zone. Courts at center, Hill and Viviano on the wing, Nefziger and McCoy on defense. Courts for the face-off. Over to McCoy. He'll advance it up out of the Dragon zone. Carries it across the neutral zone, looking for a pass to Courts. Courts sends one in front of the crease and over to the back wall, and Knights chase it down. Courts battles it, but and McCoy races it down on the near side, sends it back in over the blue line. Knights knock it back out. Nefziger's in a race for it off the back wall in the Dragon zone again. Oh, he left the puck behind there. Oh no! Back to McCoy and up to Duncan Hill on the near side. Feeds it up to Courts. Courts advances into the neutral zone. Skates it across center ice and over to the far side. Bounced it off some Knight players, and the puck is free up on the back wall. Hill's in hot pursuit in the near corner. Jude tried to send one up for Viviano there, and it goes all the way to the far side. Nefziger can't quite hold it in, and he's got a guy off to the races. McCoy's back to defend, breaks up the pass, and Johnson poke checks it over to the near side. And Knights collect it behind their net. And goal, Knights. Dang it. Got caught in her pads there. 8:20 remaining in the second period. Dragons down by 2. Blevins at center, Cook and Richardson on the wings. Moldenauer and Burks on defense. Blevins for the face-off. Puck goes down into the Knights zone. Knights collect it. Blevins coming in after it there, but Knights advance it up. Blevins strips the puck from behind there, and Richardson will try to chase it down on the far boards. Sends it up to Cookie. He'll advance it into the Knights zone up the far side. And the puck is like loose there. Blevins, off of a Knight player, and he'll chip it back to the near corner. And back to Burks at the blue line. He'll keep it in, and here come the Knights. Burks races over for it. And Burks, Knights advance into get a shot off, and dang it. We'll get in the rebound off of Johnson there. 7:37 remaining in the second. Dragons down by 3. Courts at center. Duncan is on the wrong side of the red line there. Oh, well. There's Nefziger, and he'll chip it across the neutral zone. Viviano's in hot pursuit. So is Courts. Just couldn't collect it there, and Knights chip it over to the near side. Nefziger will race back for it up the near side. Sends it back to some other Knight players there, and they'll advance over to the far boards in the Dragon zone. Nefziger blocks the shot, and he'll send it back to the neutral zone. Knights pass it up the neutral zone over to the far side. Try to bomb one in off of Moldenauer, and Nafziger races it down on the back wall, sends it off the near side boards, looking for Duncan Hill. And puck comes out to the neutral zone. Down, drags it in, sends it down to the back wall, and Courts is trying to chase it down. Knights send it off the far side, and back to Moldenauer, and he'll send it in from the net, from the blue line, and Nafziger held it in. Battles it over to the near side boards, and puck spills back out to Moldenauer. He'll race down for it in the Dragons zone. Stops at the back wall and sends it off the near side. Looking for a pass off the boards there, and puck goes back to the back wall in the Dragon zone. Moldenauer races back for it. Oh, just can't clear the zone there. And Knights bring it in closer to the net. I think Nafziger might have deflected that one. I'm not sure. Over to the near corner and back to Courts. Oh, went off his skate there. We're having all kinds of problems here, folks. Back to Nafziger, and dangles around a Knight player. Skates it across the neutral zone up the near side and down. Oh, went down on his side there, and just can't hold it in the zone. Here come all the Knights. Moldenauer's back to defend. Oh, up the post it looked like there. Nafziger races it down on the near side, passes it to Blevins. Blevins races it across center ice, and puck gets stripped over to the near side. I'm not sure. Nope, no whistle. I thought we had a whistle there. Must have been the body language. And save Johnson. She'll kick save that thing back to the back wall and over to the far side corner. Back to Moldenauer, and he's off to the races up the far boards. Across the neutral zone out in front. No one's coming with him. Knights have an arm up in the air for a tripping call, and we'll have a power play for the next minute 30. Face off in the Knights zone. 4:48 remaining in the second period. Dragons down by 3. A lot of game left here, folks. Courts at center. Moldenauer and Cook on the wings. Nafziger and Burks on defense. And Courts backhands one on net, and Knights netminder will cover that one up in the blue paint, and we'll have another try here in the Knights zone face-off circle. 1:24 remaining in the Dragons power play. Courts for the face-off, sends a shot on goal, save Knights. And we'll do it again. Courts for the face-off. Puck goes back to the back wall in the Knights zone, and they'll paddle it off the near side. Looking for a centering pass to, Moldenauer, and here come the Knights back out to the neutral zone. Burks deflects it over to the far side, and so does Moldenauer, and he'll turn it around and dump it back up the far boards, and Cookie's racing for it. Knights beat him to the punch there, and over to the near side corner. And Cookie goes down in the pile up there. Over Knights bring it around the back of their net, send it off the far boards to Burks at the blue line. Sends a shot. Pass over to Cook, and it'll bounce over to the near side boards here. And back to Courts. Centers one up. Got under the stick of Moldenauer. Moldenauer chases it down on the far side. Back to, Nafziger. And he tried to dump it in. That was Burks. I'm sorry. Nafziger, maybe it was. I'm not sure. They're both on the ice. I didn't see what happened. Moldenauer sends one to the back wall, and Cook races back for it. Frees it up for a second. Knights send it off the near side, and Nafziger peels it off the near side boards. Sends a shot through some traffic. Loose puck in front of the goaltender, and goal! Dragons! Looks like Courts picked up the loose change on the dirty goal there, and Dragons reduced their deficit to 2. Power play goal, Braxton Courts. Still a second on the penalty clock, but the Knights are still full strength, it says. Blevins at center for the face-off. Over to Hill, and he'll chip it up to the Knights player. Ooh, Grayson was racing after it. Back to... And Duncan shoves it into the Knights zone all the way to the back wall. Blevins is racing back for it, and so is Viviano over to the far side. Viviano picks it up on the far boards there. Got it. Can't get to his stick, though, and Blevins helps it out. Pass back to Nefziger. Oh, just couldn't get back to the blue line in time, and he'll shove it in offside. 2:47 remaining in the second period. Dragons down by 2. Blevins for the face-off, and he'll chip it into the Knights zone. Puck's loose over here on the near side, and Blevins held it in at the blue line there, and here come the Knights back over the near side. Nefziger gets up in the way there. Hill off the near side, pass to Blevins, and Blevins, got out in front of him, but Viviano is off to the races there, and Knights control the puck up the near side, back to Nefziger, and he'll send it back into the traffic on the near boards. Back to Viviano, and he missed the pass over to the Knights players, and they'll advance across the neutral zone up the far side. Offside! 2:12 remaining in the first. Face-off in the neutral zone. Courts at center, Richardson and Cook on the wing. Moldenauer and Burks on defense, and Courts for the face-off. Dragons power the puck down into the Knights zone, and the Knight netminder will cover that up on the side of the net there. 2:01 remaining in the second period, and we'll have a face-off in the Knights zone over here on the near side. Courts at center, Richardson and Cook on the wing. Moldenauer and Burks remaining on defense, and Courts for the face-off, sends it back to the netminder, and they're going to cover it up. So we'll do it again. Courts for the face-off, and puck comes over to the near side. Courts tries to strip it off the wall, tries to center one up, and Knights advance back to the neutral zone. Moldenauer back to defend, and that was close. Over to Moldenauer and Courts both racing for it in the near corner up the near side to Cook. And Easton Cook advances across the neutral zone. And right up the slot. Lost the puck there in the slot. And back to the neutral zone up the far side. The Knights come. That's Burks there. Got in the way. Send a bouncer through the crease and over to the near side. And Courts is trying to race it down. Back to Burks on the back wall, and Knights. All right, puck's free on the far boards, and Richardson will chase it down. Sends it out to the neutral zone, and over to Blevins on the near side. He'll advance. No, he won't. He's going to pass it over to Richardson. Richardson advances up the slot, and Knights strip the puck, send it back off the near boards, and puck squirts up all the way down to the goal line. Icing is called. 41.1 remaining in the second. Dragons down by 2, but we'll have a face-off in the Knights zone. Blevins at center, Ledbetter and Hill on the wing, Nefziger and McCoy on defense, and Blevins for the face-off. Puck goes over to the near corner, deep in the Knights zone, rather. And here come the Knights back out to the neutral zone. Nefziger, let the guy go past him, and goal, Knights. Score is 4-1. Dragons down by 3. Face-off at center ice. Blevins at center, Hill and Ledbetter on the wing, Nefziger and McCoy on defense. Blevins for the face-off, tees it up into the Knights zone, and the Knights send it back up the near side. And Knights send it back deep into their zone where they'll collect it again behind their net. And Ledbetter's in hot pursuit up the far side there. Dragons can't hold it in the zone, and McCoy over to Nafziger on the near side. Skates it across the neutral zone and down. Cuts in front of the net. Oh, the puck's loose in front of the net. Ah, oh, dang. Duncan had it on his stick and just couldn't get it in the net there. That's going to do it for the second period of play, folks. Dragons down by 3 after 2. All right, another Slapshot sponsor, Powers Law. Ryan Powers, attorney at law. Contact him at 309-349-3835 or find him on Facebook. Skin Deep La Beauté, specializing in Botox, fillers, and hair removal. Find them on Facebook and call them at 309-453-9997. They're located in Morton, Illinois. SL Audio and Lighting, established in 2018, professional sound and lighting for live music and events. You can also find them on Facebook, or you can call Scotty Lawless at 309-349-6308. Todd's Touch Lawn Care out of Bellevue, servicing the Peoria area. You can get a hold of him at 309-657-0995. And then we have Sean and Laura Garrett, cousin of the Nafzigers, Jason Jones. Jason Jones approves, ladies and gentlemen. He's our neighbor across the street. John King, House of Kyler, Jim and Sue Nafziger, and Mark and Sue Wells. Thanks again to everybody who sponsored the team this season. And hopefully everybody watches these videos, gets a hold of you next time they need one of your services. Period 3 starts now. Let's go Dragons. Blevins for the face-off. Richardson and Cook on the wing. And Knights advance back into the Dragon zone. Save Johnson, and she'll dive on it in the paint there. 11:52 remaining in regulation. Face-off in the Dragon zone. And Blevins for the face-off. Sends it over to the far face-off circle, and the Knights send it back into the back wall. Burks will race it down. Left it for Viviano, no. Moldenauer there. And up to Blevins. He'll kick it up to his stick and skate it out to the neutral zone. No, he won't, but Richardson will help it out. Ooh, almost had it up to Cook there, and here comes Burks. Oh, and we got Moldenauer peeling it off the near side there. Knights shove it back to the back wall, and Blevins races it down behind Addie's net. Skates it up the far side, sends it up, looking for Cook, and Knights send it back across the neutral zone and down to the back wall in the Dragon zone. Moldenauer picks it up, sends it up, fed it up for Richardson there. Knights race back for it deep in their zone. Icing waved off, and they'll skate it behind their net. Over to Blevins on the far side. And no shots. Back off the far boards it comes, and Moldenauer couldn't quite hold it in. He'll try to race back for it. And Burks is off to the races. Puck goes wide of the Dragons' net. And through the crease. Goal, Knights. Another backdoor feed there from the Knights, and Dragons are down by 4 with 10:28 remaining in regulation. Courts center, Hill and Viviano on the wings, Nafziger and McCoy on defense. And Courts for the face-off. Knights kick it through and all the way up the slot. Save Dragons. Johnson will dive on that at the top of the crease there, and we'll have another face-off in the Dragons zone. 10:28 remaining in regulation. Same lineup. Courts for the face-off. Chips it over to the far side, and Knights send it back to Nafziger, and he'll send it off the far boards there. Puck comes over to the near corner. McCoy's trying to race back for it there. Knights possess the puck all the way around the back all the way around the Dragons net. Pass it up the near side there from Courts, and Duncan Hill's trying to chase it down. Courts tries to strip the puck at center ice. Puck comes back into the Dragon zone and all the way to the back wall. McCoy races back for it. Picks it up in the near corner. Pass up to Duncan Hill. Nope. Yep. And puck squirts out to the neutral zone. Hill tries to advance it up to Courts. And Viviano, darn. Nafziger strips the puck, takes it over to the near side and chips it into the neutral zone. Hill advances it into the Knights zone up the near side. And back to Nafziger at the blue line, holds it in, sends a shot from the blue line, sends a bouncer. Oh, save Knights over to the near side, and Hill will try to race it down. Oh, sends it to a Knight player there on the back wall, and he'll ship it over to the far boards there. Nafziger holds it in, tries to smash it in deeper there, and he'll finally get it to the back wall. Duncan Hill will race back for it, and Knights get there first. Hill strips the puck over to the near boards, and Courts goes back to help. And Nafziger holds it in again, paddles it back up to a Knight player at the face-off circle, and McCoy will race it down deep in the Dragon zone. And back up into the neutral zone. Knights pick it back up. Dragons. All right, Knights offside. 8:32 remaining in regulation. Dragons down by 4, face off in the neutral zone. All right. Moldenauer at center, Cook and Ledbetter on the wing. Moldenauer for the face-off. Carries it into the Dragon zone, and puck goes back to the back wall. Knights peel it off. They'll pass one up to a guy waiting in the face-off circle, and they'll send one towards the net. Puck's still loose, and Moldenauer will chase it down on the near side. Oh, battles it out to the neutral zone, and that's going to be an offside call. 8:08 remaining in regulation. Another face-off in the neutral zone. Moldenauer at center, Cook and Ledbetter on the wings, Burks and Blevins on defense. And Moldenauer for the face-off. Knights advance it into the Dragon zone, send a shot, goal, Knights. Over the top of the glove. 8 minutes remaining in regulation. And Knights will have a rolling clock. Same forward lineup, and McCoy and Nafziger on defense. Moldenauer for the face-off, chips it over to Easton Cook, and Easton Cook tried to drag it into the Knights zone, but he couldn't get it there. And here comes Nafziger up the far side, and he'll smack it into the Knights zone for a second, and they'll bring it back out. Send it all the way down. Nafziger's in a foot race for it on the back wall. He'll stop, go the other way. Dangle around some Knights traffic and back up, out of the zone, cross center ice and all the way down. Tries to dangle it through, leaves it up for Keaton. Oh, kick save, Knights, and back to McCoy at the blue line. Can't hold it in, and here come the Knights. Moldenauer's back to defend. He'll try to drive him to the far side, no avail, and goal, Knights. Dragons down by 6, 7:17 remaining in regulation. Courts at center, Duncan Hill and Noah Viviano on the wings, Blevins and Burks on defense. Courts for the face-off. He'll chase it down all the way into the Knights zone, and the Knights come out with it. Send it off into the neutral zone, and they'll advance. Blevins picks off the advancement there and carries it up, send it back to a Knight player. And, Courts has had some speed there. If he could have snuck it out in front, it would have been nice, but here comes the Knights into the Dragon zone. We got some angry fans here in the crowd, it seems. Back to Knight player, advances towards the net. Blevins try to get in the way there. Kick save Johnson over to the far side. And Blevins will chase it down in the near corner. Sends it up the near side boards, and puck squirts out to the neutral zone. Courts, oh, almost got it there. Sorry about that. Here comes Courts. He's out in front. Sends a shot, gets deflected to the back wall, and Knights bring it up the far side. Back to Burks in the neutral zone, and he'll send it off the far boards. Ooh. And we got a pile up there in front of the Dragons bench for a second. Puck's still loose, and I don't know where it is. There it is. Courts found it. And the Knights found it next. Here comes Hill. He'll chop it in, try to get it across the blue line there. And Blevins will chase it down in the Dragon zone. Cross-ice pass looking for Courts on the far side. And he'll advance. Oh, let it get in front of him there. And Duncan Hill came in from behind there, tried to help him out. And Blevins battles for it inside the neutral zone. And back to Burks. Sends it up the near side. Back to Hill. And Courts races it down in the neutral zone. Sends a shot into a Knights player's stick. And back to the neutral zone we come. Burks sends it in offside. 5-0. Clock's rolling down to 5 minutes here. So we'll probably have about 4:45 by the time we drop the puck remaining in regulation. Moldenauer for the face-off, and let's battle it over to the near side. McCoy will race back for it in the Dragon zone. Cross-ice pass, looking for Nafziger on the far side. He'll try to race it up the far boards. Puck gets out ahead of him there, and back to the back wall it goes in the Dragon zone again. Back to Easton Cook. Sends it off McCoy's skate there in midair. That was kind of cool. Moldenauer comes out with it up the near side. And he'll skate around everybody. Sends it out in front, and he'll do dump and chase maneuver there, and Knights get there first. Back to the near side, they'll come. And Nafziger tried to hold it in. Puck's sailing down to the back wall, and Knights send a shot on goal. Dragons down by 7. 3:40 something remaining in regulation. Sometimes you're going to have these types of days, folks. Hopefully the whole day isn't like that, but, you know. Courts for the face-off, and back to Blevins. Blevins pass over to Courts at center ice, and he'll hunt it down. Comes out ahead, and sends one from the top of the face-off circle. Save Knights. Another shot on goal, Braxton Courts. And clock rolls down to 3 minutes remaining in regulation. Courts at center, Ledbetter and Viviano on the wing, Blevins and Burks on defense, and Courts for the face-off, sends it to the goaltender, and they'll stop the play. 2:50-ish remaining in regulation. Courts for the face-off, and puck goes back to Ledbetter in the near corner. Back out to Courts, paddles one into the crease there, and Knights will bring it over to the near side. Viviano gets in the way, and Courts comes over to help him out. Back to Knights battle it up the far boards there, and back to Blevins at the neutral zone, offside Dragons. All right. Courts for the face-off into the Knights zone. Knights carry it, dump it back up into the neutral zone up the far side, and Dragons can't control the puck. Back to Burks, paddled it up towards the blue line there, and the Knights held it in. Here comes Courts, back out to the neutral zone. Blevins is coming with him. Courts sends it in deep. He'll chase it down. Nope, Knights get there first, send it over to the far side, and Viviano gets in the way, picks it up in the face-off circle. Oh, looking for a centering feed there, through the crease and over to the near side. And here come the Knights, back over across the neutral zone. Burke's back to defend, and Knights, oh, sent one through the crease there. Had a guy there that just couldn't reach it. Courts battles it over to the far boards, and puck goes in deep. Burke's got in the way there, can't get a stick on it, and Knights come out with it. Back around the back of the Dragons' net. Oh, no! Oh, Burke stopped that wide open shot. That was good. And back to Blevins off of a Knight player. Back to Moldenauer. And Knights try to get another shot off. Burke sends it off the near side there. Puck bounces out to Richardson. Tried to get it up to Ledbetter, and it bounced off a Knight and over to the near side. Knights come back in with it. Blevins gets in the way. Burks gets in the way. Steals the puck. Sends it up the near side boards back to the neutral zone. Ledbetter's in hot pursuit. Knights advance back in. And Moldenauer sends it back to the blue line. Knights send a shot off from Moldenauer, and he's off to the races. Out to the neutral zone. 10 seconds remaining in regulation, and the puck came back into the Knights' possession up the near side, and they're going to carry it back in. Burks sends it back to the neutral zone, and that's going to do it for regulation play in Game 3 of the CSDHL regular season for your Pekin 10U AA Dragons. Be the first loss for the regular season. And we'll be back at 6:30 p.m. for Game 2 against the Knights today, same team. And hopefully we'll have a better outcome. Got to go get some lunch and some energy and stuff. We'll see if maybe we can skate a little faster next time. All right, folks, thanks for watching. We'll see you at 6:30 p.m. this afternoon. Let's go, Dragons!